Hi, this is Mary from the Daily Sew. If you're new to sewing and you want to mend your clothes, do some simple alterations or a simple project, what sewing tools do you need to have? I mean, what sewing tools do you actually need, like the bare minimum? You don't need very many, and you don't need a sewing machine. If you find that you like sewing, you can buy a sewing machine later. But for mending and small repairs, you really only need 6 things. You could get away with 5 as well. The only thing you don't want is cheap tools. Cheap tools will make your sewing task more frustrating and take twice as long. However, this doesn't mean you need to buy expensive tools either. So if you want to shorten a dress, mend a little rip, or secure a button, this video is going to show you the basic tools you need to have, and some that you might want to have or you add to your sewing kit as you do more sewing. If you're ready, let's go. All right, the 5 things you need are needles, pins, a pair of scissors, thread, and a seam ripper. And we're going to go into detail about all of these items. The 6th thing that you would probably like to have is an iron, something that has some steam capability to it. Let's talk about needles first. My professor used to always say, it's a needle, not a harpoon, and he was talking about the size. What you need is a needle that is thick enough to go through the fabric you're working in, but small enough to do the job. And that is why a variety pack of sizes is the best. You want to go with sharps. Sharps is an all-purpose kind of needle for mending projects. And again, a variety pack is very handy. You can buy them in a single size pack as well, so just look for that in the corner. This is a sizes 3 to 9, and the big one there, so in case you have like denim or something heavy, and then the small one for finer fabrics. Bonus is that the packaging the needles come in also makes for a great storage. You can just slip them in there. You don't need to have anything fancy to store your needles. All right, next up is pins. Pins, like needles, come in a variety of types and sizes and amounts. You don't need many pins. If you can borrow some off a sewing friend, that'd be great. What you want to look for on the packaging, it'll either say dressmaker or fine pins. If you buy pins with a plastic head at the stubby end, just make sure not to iron over it. Now this is a quilting pin, and you can tell because it's extra long and the shaft is fatter. And these 3 are dressmaker or fine pins, and they're really all-purpose type of pins. Now what do you need pins for? You need them to hold fabric in place as you work. That way when you move things around, everything stays where you want it to stay. You also need it when taking in a garment. When you try something on and you realize I need to take it in, you can take the pins to mark exactly how much you want to take it in, look in the mirror, make sure it looks right. And then the pins will show you exactly where to sew your new seam. So that's handy as well. Also, I use pins a lot to mark a place on a garment or a project where I need a mark. Instead of taking a pen or a pencil and marking, I mark it with the pen so I can see it. Scissors also come in a variety of types and sizes, and the key to a good pair of scissors is they are sharp. Not expensive, just sharp. If you don't already have a pair of scissors, I would go for the classic orange handle Fiskars. They're a really great value for the money. In fact, this pair is over 30 years old and I still use it. The bent handle there is for fabric cutting if you're going to plan on making things and need to cut fabric. And of course, the little scissors are great if you're just going to be doing some mending or need a to-go sewing kit. Another great brand of scissors is Kai. Kai has really smooth blades. When you move the handle, the blades just really are like butter. I can also recommend Gingers. Ginger is a very reputable brand, and they are pricier, but a lot of times you can find them on sale at big box stores. The little size scissors are very handy, especially when they have that case there to just take with you. You don't have to worry about hurting yourself at all. Now, if you're going to be cutting a lot of fabric, say you have ambitions to make curtains or pillows or even some clothing, you want to look for that bent blade. That lets you get the scissors underneath the fabric that's placed on the table without disrupting the placement of the fabric. Also, the longer blade can cut a lot more fabric in one stroke because it's got a longer blade. Makes sense? But if you're just doing small repairs and mending, you don't need the big scissors. You can just use the tiny ones. They are perfect for snipping thread, and they even do cut fabric should you need to. Of course, smaller blades, they can only cut about 1 inch at a time, or however long their tiny little blades are, but it does work. So you don't need both pairs. But that is exactly why I like this middle pair. I call it the hybrid pair. The blades are small enough to get into spaces and cut tiny objects, and long enough to cut fabric. So let's talk about thread. You really want some strong, well-made thread. You do not want cheap thread. It'll tangle on itself, making your job a lot more frustrating than it needs to be. Also, all-purpose thread is a good place to start. All-purpose thread is 100% polyester. It doesn't shrink, and it is strong. And that's what you want to look for if you're buying thread brand new, like you don't have any. When you go to the fabric store, you're going to see a ton of different options. There's cotton, there's rayon, there's top stitching, all sorts. Just look for something that doesn't come on a styrofoam spool or a teeny tiny spool or comes in a sewing kit. Get yourself some all-purpose thread if you're buying new thread. Also, what colors? Well, I would start with a couple of neutrals, maybe black and white, or I would go with colors that I wear a lot. And they do have put together packs already at the stores a lot of times that have lots of neutrals for repairs and patches, things like that. So those are very handy as well. Some brands that you should look for that I can personally recommend and use. Coats & Clark is a really great brand. Mettler, also a very good brand. And Gutermann. There are all other brands out there that are just as good, but these are the ones I use and I can recommend them. All right, here's a tool nobody really wants to have, but actually they are very, very useful. They take off scratchy labels, they take off buttons when you have to replace them all. You're going to find these teeny tiny seam rippers. A lot of times they are in sewing kits. And you can see by the size of my hand what I mean by teeny tiny. These miniature seam rippers are great in an emergency only. And the reason they're not so great for everyday use or any kind of use is because they're awkward. They're awkward to hold and they're awkward to use. And a lot of times they're cheap, so therefore they're dull, which can be an accident waiting to happen, like a dull knife. I like this Clover seam ripper. It's my favorite so far. It's pretty sharp, it fits in my hand nicely, and it gets the job done. Because dull seam rippers can cause accidents, they can either cut you because you have to use more force, or they can cut your fabric. You always want to work with the seam ripper, the sharp end pointing away from you. You never want to do the work coming toward you like that. So when buying a seam ripper, look for one that is sharp. That's a good brand one that's usually sharp, and one that the handle really fits well in your hand. Because if you have to use too much force for one reason or another, or the handle is awkward, they will rip the fabric very easily. Now, an iron might not be a tool you think of when it comes to sewing, but an iron will elevate your sewing. Ironing your seams open, ironing your hems after you've sewn them will really make your garment look better. You want to look for an iron that has a water reservoir. And if you're going to sew a lot, you want to hold a lot of water because you want to use the steam function. Steam is really helpful when working with cottons and wools. And an iron is just great when prepping your fabrics or garments for repairing and sewing. Now we're going to talk about things that are nice to have. These aren't essential, but they can be very handy to have. First is a container and place to put all your sewing things. This is a pouch that I always use when I take sewing with me, but it can be a box, it could be a drawer, it could be just something that can contain everything. It's nice to have a tape measure or a small ruler. This one has inches on one side, centimeters on the other, very handy. Especially if you're going to be hemming garments, it's good to have something to measure with. Another great handy item is something to mark your garment or fabric with. This one is a water soluble. It could be an air soluble marker. The mark disappears after a while. That can be pretty handy. A lot of times I just use a plain pencil because it usually washes out. Oh, and then other times I use tailor's chalk. Tailor's chalk is just chalk that marks in the fabric. My grandmothers used to use a sliver of white soap, and it did the same thing on dark fabric. So any one of these, and you only need one, or you could just use pins to mark someplace on the fabric if you need to. So one of those can be handy to have in your kit. A thimble is very useful, especially if you're going to be sewing, repairing any kind of denim or other thick fabric. The thimble lets you push the needle through with more ease, because even though that isn't the point of the needle, the eye end, it can be sharp and will hurt your fingers after a while. So the thimble fits on your middle dominant hand, the middle finger of your dominant hand. It has little grooves in it. Just make sure it fits, and they come in all different types, metal, plastic, etc. Embroidery hoops can be handy, especially if you're darning. They will hold your work area nice and taut and in place. I don't use one myself, but I know that they are handy. Fray check is my go-to. Fray check, I usually put it at the end of a knot. It's a little clear glue. It dries clear. But see how fabric can fray like that? So you could apply it to the end there, and you don't apply, that's too much. You would use less than that. And then when it dries, it will prevent the fabric from fraying further. Again, I use it on knots. It's very handy and easily obtained at the big box stores. A little tin can also be helpful for holding your needles. This is just a candy tin. I put a magnet there on the bottom that keeps the needles in place. Also, a safety pin is very handy, especially if you're fishing through any drawstring that got lost in the casing, like of a hoodie, the string. You need to fish it back through a safety pin for that. And now let's add our essentials to our kit. I got my needles. And remember, we got sharps, a nice all-purpose for garment sewing, and a variety pack would be good. Pins, don't need very many. Scissors, and I happen to have little scissors. And then we have a seam ripper. Remember, you want a full size, and watch that sharp point. Really should find one with the cap, I suppose. And then thread. You don't need much thread until you have a project in hand that you need to do. You really will be able to accomplish a lot with those few basic tools. And as you sew more, you can add more to your kit. Well, I hope you found that useful. If you're new to sewing, be sure to check out the Daily Sews videos on sewing by hand. There's a whole series of them. If you have any questions about this video, please put them in the comments below and I'll be sure to reply. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.